Yeah, welcome to On the Surf. This is the family. On this channel we're talking about boat stuff in general, boat life with kids, how it works with kids on the boat, how it works with dogs on the boat maintenance and boat restoration and boat repairs, and basically boat life in general. Please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost a thing, it's free, but it helps me out and keeps my motivation going. So please hit that subscribe button, give the videos a thumbs up if you like the content, and if you don't, leave a comment below, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. So what I've done is I disconnected the hoses for the bilge pump impellers and just made a loop so it doesn't blow out any antifreeze. Disconnected the intake hose and took another one down to the bucket. Disconnected the water outlet running back to the bucket, and a garden hose connection and a garden hose prepared. So when the engine starts, it's just to plug them in. So let's start it up. I'm gonna prime the intake hose also, and that means just to fill it up with water. Then we're gonna start it over. And I have 10 liters more antifreeze mixed up if I need to add something. So make sure the hoses is rubbing on something, and now it's just to start it up. Now it's up to temperature. This engine has normal working temperature at 60 degrees Celsius, and as you can see here, I got a reflection of the exhaust. Yeah, so now we have run some antifreeze through the engine, and right now it's still in the bucket, and as you can see I have good ventilation, and I've been standing out here when we have run so that I don't breathe in the fumes from the antifreeze. And as you saw earlier, I had a bit of leak in the garden hose connection, so now I have to pump out the water that's under the engine. But now it's time for coffee and to make everything a little bit cooler, so I don't burn myself when I'm working on it. And collect everything. Collect all the antifreeze and yeah, the water from under the engine, because it's gonna be a little bit oil and grease and stuff like that in that, so we don't harm the environment more than necessary. Back in a bit. Well, here we are again. Sorry I missed out the last week's video. I had to take a little break from boat work. I had to finish this room that I'm in right now, because Sandra wanted her room finished so she can do her stuffs. So sorry for that, and let's get to it. Just disconnected the garden hose because the exhaust hose is now full with water. So now we have disconnected the garden hose, but the antifreeze hoses is still connected. So now we will start up until we see no more water coming out of exhaust. So now I've taken away all the spare hoses and disconnected all the hoses. That's why. That's because if there are still some pure water somewhere by any reason, it can expand if it freezes. And I've collected as much antifreeze as I want. I'm gonna put some of it in the engine compartment so it doesn't freeze, and some in the bilge, and that I'm going to collect in the spring. And as you saw, even with the thermostat wide open, the water level in the bucket didn't get any lower. That means I don't have any internal leakage. So the engine is good, and maybe I will put on an heat exchanger to make this engine last for maybe 10-20 years more. And the only thing left to do before this engine is winterized is do a service on that. That means change the oil filter, and do that now, because if there are any water inside the oil, you can get that out, and the engine will sit with new fresh oil with no crap in it over the winter. I will not show you this right now. I will leave you a link below for that. I have done a 3-part series of how to service this engine. The impellers I won't change now. I will change them in the spring. So let's just put some antifreeze in the engine compartment and in the bilge. That's enough. Forgot to put my gloves on. And for the toilet, I use windscreen wiper fluid because it's a bit nicer. Yeah, I've calculated that the hose from the toilet to the septic tank has a volume of 2 liters, and I've just poured in 3 liters. So if I empty this out, I know that... Why is it not focusing? If I empty this out, I only have antifreeze in the hose and some in the septic tank, so nothing will get froze damage. So now it's just to flush it. And so it's gone. And into the hose. The water tank is empty. I've disconnected all the hoses. All the seacocks is opened. But there is a trick about this, because it's a ball inside and there it's gonna be a little bit of water between the ball and the housing. So open them fully and then close it a little bit. Not full, maybe half open. That way the water between the housing and the ball can expand out if it freezes. Yeah, water tank empty, septic tank empty, windscreen washer fluid in the toilet. The engine is run to full temperature with antifreeze. All the hoses is disconnected on that. Yeah, that's it for now. Yeah, so now we are finished with the winter preparations of the boat. Now the fun thing begins. Emptying out the boat, but that's gonna be something for tomorrow. So now it's just to close up and clean up and restore the garden houses and stuff like that. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we're gonna empty the boat. See you tomorrow. Here we are again in my hobby room. The battery in the camera went out, and for you who saw the previous episode where I showed you how to winterize an outboard, it's the same on the inboard engine. Leave the throttle wide open, turn the kill switch off so the engine don't start, and turn over the key, run the engine on the starter for 5-10 seconds, and while you do that, spray some WD-40 through the air intake. Yeah, and now we are in my newly finished hobby room. So now I can do the indoor parts of both work and maintenance. In here I have everything rigged and everything is always on the ready. And next episode is gonna be about this room, my workshop, my set of tools, and yeah, basically, yeah, why I'm able to do all these different kinds of boat maintenance and boat restorations and stuff like that. See you next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's free. And share it with your friends. It helps me out a lot. Stay tuned. See you next week.